Welcome back, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce Carlos R. Morales from TCC Connect Campus. Carlos is going to be talking about success and challenges of building a fully online campus from the ground up. Thank you for being here, Carlos. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Caroline. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Certainly, we want to share a few elements that come to mind always when we get the question about successes and challenges of building a fully online campus. Some of the areas of focus that I will address this day are the ones you see here. We'll try to give you an overview of the campus. Everything we do is with the students being at the center of the operation. We'll talk a little bit about online dual credit, which is one of the three modalities we have here at the campus. Some of the assets that we have developed through all this time to support the campus, and we'll share a few strategies for growth, as well as some data that will give you the context of the operation that we are managing. Tarrant County College is a community college in Fort Worth, Texas. We are part of the Dallas-Fort Worth-Arlington Metropolitan Statistical Area, and that is about approximately 9 million people. We are 6 campuses, 5 of them face-to-face, and the campus that I lead is fully online. We have additional centers throughout the college, and approximately we have 100,000 students between credit and non-credit as well. More about the campus. The campus is a fully online campus. I'm the founding president. We started this journey 11 years ago. The campus was established in 14 months. So in August of 2014, we were able to establish a fully online operation to widen the doors and widen the access of students to online education in this area. The current enrollment is 33,000 students, and this is every semester that we support that number of students. We have approximately 535 faculty members that help us with the educational endeavor and the teaching aspect. One of the things that we are very proud and have been recognized is for the innovation, for the agility, and the leadership to online / distance education that we bring to the table. It is important that I mention that everything that I will discuss this day has to do or is mentioned from the centralized online learning side of things. This is not distributed online. This is centralized because in policy for this college, we are the only campus that can deliver fully online programs. So we have been responsible not only for the process, but also for the policy and the learning operation, if you will. We are the award-winning online campus of the college as well. And you see here the main offerings that we have. In this case, 40 fully online degrees, more than 350 online courses, and that is on the e-learning side. The weekend college, we enroll more than 800 students every semester, and it's hybrid and also synchronous. You see the student services that we offer. These are to ensure that students receive the equivalent, if not the same, services that our sister campuses are required to deliver because of the accreditor that give us the accrediting element. The other part that is important to mention is that you will hear how through planning we have been able to not only establish the campus but grow the campus exponentially. We were here before the pandemic, so basically 6.5 years before the pandemic. So you will see that many of the things that we will share this they were here before the pandemic. Let me just point to 11 initiatives that allow me to summarize and to give you a compressed view of the operation, if you will. We have done what we call online peer course development, which basically is a master course. And we started that very, very early in the operation because we were working with forecasting and trying to scale the operation, or at least design a potential way of scaling the operation in the case it grew much faster than anticipated. We redesigned an online certification, so our faculty are required to be trained and certified before teaching online. You do not get a course assigned, nor you can teach it while you get certified in the operation. We have a winter semester online, and you see on the right side when those were implemented. We have a summer online. We have 8-week programs. We established in 2017 an online summer high school. We also have what we call here monthly starts, which are courses that run for 4 weeks. There is a clientele that comes to the college or is interested in coming to the college in the fastest way possible, and is 4 weeks. In fall of 18, we receive via transfer online advisors. They were centralized in the college, but because of our responsibilities and the growth that we were experiencing, we transferred those to my campus. We implemented e-faculty coaches also in the fall of 2018, and in fall of 2019, before the pandemic, we implemented a virtual computer lab to provide equity to our students compared to what happens on ground, and in spring of 21, a data team. So you see that of those 11, 10 were here before the pandemic. Basically, and in a nutshell, I want to share the online instructor certification, which is the required training that we expect our faculty members to have, and this is for everybody, full-time or part-time. You are required to complete an online instructor certification, and we use 2 approaches. One is one for faculty that is new to online teaching. That's the whole set, the linear, way in which we ensure that they develop the skills and the competencies. But we also have another version, which is for experienced faculty that may come from another institution or a previous role, that then we can do their certification in as short as 1 business day. The certification covers many aspects in terms of managing the classroom, the online pedagogy, adult learning, accelerated as well. We do not necessarily cover in the certification using the LMS because there is a separate session for that, but one additional element that has been important for us is how we can infuse more regular and substantive interaction into the online courses, because in the United States, there has been recent ruling by the U.S. Department of Education that this needs to happen, because if not, it will be more of a correspondence, self-paced, when the faculty member is not present. The online presence is also an aspect that we not only pay attention, but we observe in our classes. An additional tool that we implemented, and it has been working very well for us, is the peer developed courses. And we see this as a tool that allows for our faculty to be always ready. As I said, this is the same as a master course. And what we do is that new e-learning courses are developed in a collaborative way with expert faculty. They are paired with an instructional designer, if you will, and they are also using, this is done via project management. The element that is not in this particular slide, but we do, is that we make a call for participation to all the subject matter experts in X subject, right? So if we want to teach math online, we write to the entire math faculty of the college asking for their availability, their interest to design or participate in the design of a fully online course. And then when that comes, we try to get between 3 and 5 of those faculty members to ensure that there is variety, that there is a diversity of teaching strategies and teaching methods in the course, right? And as I said, they are paired with an instructional designer using a project management approach. The content is textbook agnostic. So the expectation is that content is original and it can be taught with any textbook or with any OER. That work is done by our instructional designers. They are the professionals that help with consultation with the faculty in terms of translating those ideas and those concepts that primarily come from a face-to-face operation, if you will, although our faculty is fully designated online, into the online modality. So they are those consultants. They have a varied set of competencies. They do instructional design, they do HTML, they do video editing, image editing. Not every time and not all of them, but they come with a very good set of skills that provides that diversity. An additional layer that we have implemented, and you remember the previous set of initiatives that I shared, has to do with the faculty support, and those are the faculty coaches. They are called e-faculty coaches, and basically they help the faculty with a continuous support in the areas of online presence, administration of the classroom, and just-in-time training. The operation has been growing more and more. This unit is responsible for quality assurance for the campus. What we do in online has had so much impact that the rest of the college is adopting some of these practices and strategies. The faculty member always knows where or she is in terms of performance, expectations, student satisfaction, and of course the responsibilities that they need to fulfill. There is some data collection that occurs here, but I want to mention that these coaches are not punitive coaches. This entire process is not punitive. It's one that seeks to make your teaching endeavor much better every time. So again, the coach is somebody that supports you. I mentioned the virtual computer lab is basically using VMware to virtualize software and computers and operating systems. And we saw the need of this because many of our students did not have the needed technology, be on the hardware side or on the software side, to be successful in their classes. So we work with our information technology division, and they had this tool that then we put in motion to bring more equity to the operation. And as you see here, the technology is very robust. Perhaps many of you have been exposed to this or using it, and our operation allows us to hold 5,000 simultaneous connections at any time. So it has been well received and very, very well designed as well for our students. Some of the aspects that come from the challenges, if you will, I gave you some successes there, right? But in terms of challenges, planning and managing hurdles. So this came from a vision to then a reality, to then becoming a leader in online education. All of this started through a concept plan. It was related to Vision 2015. The campus was established in 14 months. I started with a very small group of staff and faculty members. I even had a very small budget when I came, but the majority of the decisions were data informed. The state of Texas, their coordinating board, higher education coordinating board, publishes an almanac every year, and we were using that to support many of the endeavors and planning that we were doing. You will hear me in the next set of slides talk about soft launch versus piloting. So many of the items that I discussed a few minutes ago have been soft launched versus piloted. In my campus, I don't necessarily pilot. I believe in soft launching simply because we know things as professionals. We research, okay? We ask colleagues about experiences and tools. There is the research and publications, and knowing that all that is on the table, we should be going with these activities because they are needed activities with a high level of confidence that they will work. So that's why we soft launch versus piloting, which basically you run it from A to B, and then you revise it, and then you decide if you're going to implement. The other thing that has worked very, very well for us is the work plan. This is the way we conduct the operation. The teams select activities, the teams report on a bi-monthly basis, and we track our outcomes, and this is also a way for us to scaffold next year's work. We were going against the current because when I came, I was told to centralize distance education and centralize dual credit, and also centralize or create a weekend college. And I was, on quotes here, taking away some of those items, but those were the decisions made by the college. And I had to work with the perception that colleagues and the other campuses were losing enrollments when on the contrary, we have been gaining enrollments. There was a lot of questioning on the approach towards increasing the operation and increasing the offerings, especially in the science courses. I am a microbiologist by training, and many of my peers back in the early days did not believe that you could teach science courses online when in my previous roles I have been doing that. You see here that this has been done from the equity and equality side of things, and we have been very successful in that aspect. Let me show you really quick some of the successes for faculty and students. This is part of what we do in terms of supporting faculty and training faculty. This is conferences that we do every semester for them to be in the know and for them to be gaining additional competencies and skills. This particular slide, you see content that is blurred. This is the way we use data. Okay, this particular one has to do with course readiness that every faculty member needs to complete prior to the start of a semester, and then we inform them of their compliance or not. This is the success we have had. Very high success rates, over 80%, and a high retention rate over 90%. This is fully online, as I said, and important to mention dual credit, which is dual enrollment in Texas, and is growing very, very fast. We are focusing on the rural setting. We conduct this operation through a business plan that originally said to us that it was going to be 5,000 students in 5 years. We started in the fall of 23 with 3,500 students. So we are, over 60% of those enrollments already here. We do the online readiness, which is an assessment that every student needs to complete before enrolling in an online class, be a dual credit, be a weekend, or be a fully online class student, because we want them to be successful. You have heard many of the urban legends about online learning being easier for people. This is the success rates. Again, you see the bright green is the past semester, but again, over 80% on success, which is C or better in the United States, and the retention of over 90%. These are enrollments, and this is from the beginning of our semester, how we were able to not only continue to grow, and our growth is approximately 8% every semester. So again, the operation is very, very large. You see here headcount versus enrollment, which is what I mentioned earlier today. For those of you in the United States, we count in two ways. This is the success. We have with accelerated, and this is wintermester during the holiday break. You only see 4 years. We have been doing this since 2016, and it's a similar set of success points. Over 80% on C or better, which is the students earning a grade, and then over 90% on the retention rate. You see here monthly start. These success rates are still high, but they are different simply because is much more faster than any of the other methods that we have done. So basically, the operation has been very successful through planning, through the implementation and the development of best practices for both for faculty and also for students as we serve them on a again growth basis more and more every time. So many institutions are exploring after the pandemic going to not going fully online, but investing on fully online operations. My advice is you need to do that faster than you think, because the market is very saturated and you need to differentiate your offerings from others, right? But through planning and through important decisions, this can happen in a very well manner. As I mentioned before, we have been recognized with many awards in the United States. Before the pandemic, we were recognized as the top online college. This happened in 2020, and we have been receiving accolades for specific programs, for specific initiatives. We just received one from the Texas DLA Association on instructional design. We have had one in course support, and the ones you see on this image have to do with the quality and the atmosphere for students to be learning online. And you see the image on the right, that is our logo for our 10 year anniversary that is coming up in August. We are very excited. We look forward to seeing many students and seeing colleagues as we celebrate the 10th anniversary of a very, very successful operation that started very small, but that has been growing in a relentless way to support students. That is pretty much everything that I have. I am not sure if we have time for questions or what we can do next. I see some questions. Oh, I see Caroline. Caroline.
Hi, Carlos. We absolutely do have time for some questions. Thank you so much. And I don't know if you saw, but there was some really great sort of applause for you at the end there. Here we go. Thanks, guys. Thanks for doing
yes,
that.
Thank you. And again, I didn't react earlier simply because I was engaged in the PowerPoint. But thank you for the support and the attendance.
That's okay. So we've got some questions actually. So if we just start with Jen. Jen's asked to teach. Bear with me. I had Kevin pop up there. So here we go. Jen, to teach sciences online, such as biology and chemistry, is it possible to share the relevant experiences from TCC faculty or students, also about career prospects of the students?
Sure. Well, the rigor is the same because we are one college, so we have one course for all the modalities. The online courses, the students have the opportunity to do hands-on labs. Here in the United States, there are companies that sell you a lab kit that you customize and the students receive via mail. The lab are guided and designed by a faculty member, and the students go through the process, right? All of this is asynchronous, but they take either pictures or videos of themselves doing the exercises, and they need to upload that along with the results. The faculty have been very pleased because they have a say. They have been helping design these activities. The instructional designers, are paired in that endeavor. And what is very important, the students are successful and the courses are received by other institutions when the students transfer to continue their education, be for a bachelor's degree or any other level. So again, a very, very successful, and it's because we are centralized and this is the only thing we do. So we have infused all the practice with processes that are of rigor and quality.
Thank you, Carlos. Wonderful. Another question here from Kevin. What methods do you use to ensure quality of course design and delivery? Any challenges?
The method we use, we are using a combination of quality matters and in-house practices. Okay, we are much closer to become a fully quality matters organization with all the rubrics, etc. But because we have approximately 8 instructional designers, we have developed, for the most part, our own set of strategies and procedures to do that. Remember the peer approach. So there's no one person doing this. You have a group of people. Everybody has to sign off on that work. Everybody has to review that. And the other thing, because of time, I didn't mention, every 2 years, these courses are reviewed. Okay, so we have a cycle of starting with quality, keeping the quality, and renewing the quality, if you will. Experiences beyond that, the faculty, we call them to design, but at the same time, they say, listen, we think that we need to revise this course much faster than the original cycle because we are seeing trends in the marketplace, right, in the workplace that we need to incorporate. So again, is very dynamic, and we try to keep ourselves as current as possible.
Thanks, Carlos. And we have a sort of message actually that's in the general chat, but I think it's a question, so I'm going to ask it if that's okay. And
Sure.
This question is from Adina. Hi, Carlos. Would you think digital skills based on age or financial background can be holding back students of signing up and completing your courses? Also, do you offer any support before starting the course to be prepared for the right digital skills?
Yes, there is always a small impact on those elements because our students come from diverse backgrounds. But let me tell you, in our area, in our service area, the high schools, the preparatory schools are giving students iPads, and they are doing digital books prior to the pandemic. So the students have been exposed to this mode of learning, okay, before coming to college. If they are dual credit, they get that exposure, but they have been also getting that before. Many of the high schools here use the same LMS, learning management system, that we use, okay, and that makes things easier, but also accelerate their exposure. The aspect on how we teach those, yes, the online readiness tool is an assessment that every student needs to take prior to enrolling in an online class. You be a fully online student at the college level, or you be a dual credit student still enrolled in your classes at the school. And that is simply to ensure that you have the aptitude to learn online, that you can use the technology, that you can do independent study, that you can type at a desired rate. So again, your experience, your learning experience is a pleasant one. We do that through the assessment, and also students, once they complete that, they will see, they gain access to the LMS, but they also see a preparatory course, if you will, or a reference course that they can always access as part of the courses they see. So again, we are reinforcing that every time.
Thank you, Carlos. And I've got probably one final question. Can has asked two. So Can, if you don't mind, I'm going to go with your first one, which was, who's responsible for overseeing the online teaching instructor, and how is that person ensuring that instructor is evolving their best practices with regards to the course design and delivery?
Sure. On a structure, organizational structure, I have the entire structure of president, vice president, of student, of academics, right? But on the academic side, which is the teaching side, there is a vice president, there are deans, there are department chairs, the faculty members, In parallel, you have the instructional designers, the e-faculty coaches, okay, and collectively they influence and they observe, if you will, the way the faculty member is teaching. We have technology that tracks logins, okay, and tracks time in the LMS, but we also have checklists that the faculty needs to submit. We have the coaches that observe those classes and also record the actions there, and we have faculty interacting with the coaches. So it is a full ecosystem that originates from us or originates from a faculty member, and it converges always on the quality aspect. I'm not sure if I answer, but I try to compress a lot of things
I know
just in 10 seconds.
We had a very little amount of time, Carlos. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but honestly, thank you so much for a great session. I think everybody has enjoyed that session, very informative, and probably everyone has a lot more questions. So again, lovely to see you. I look forward to keeping in touch. And of course, hopefully our colleagues here will also do the same. So thank you.